In this video lesson, I will explain some possible answers to a question that many people have about what is called generational curses. And how is it possible that the actions and decisions of their parents, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and great-great-grandfathers may affect their present lives? Our intention is to bring light and clarity about what is known as generational curses. If at the end of the lesson you feel peace and tranquility and this material was useful to you, we would have achieved the main goal we wanted with this topic. Welcome to the virtual school, The Force Awakens. Today, we will have as an example a biblical text that is found in John's Gospel, chapter 9, verses 1 and 2, and it says like this. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? The fact that Jesus healed a man who was born blind is admirable itself. However, Jesus also had a very deep intention by doing this miracle, and that was to solve and bring clarity about this topic of generational curses. In the time Jesus lived, it was notorious that people believed in the law of reincarnation, even so that the Pharisees sent some of their disciples to ask John the Baptist who he was. The text says like this, and they asked, Who are you? He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Christ. And they asked him, What then? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? He said, I am not. So they said to him, Who are you? We need to give an answer to those who sent us. What do you say about yourself? He said, I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, make straight way of the Lord. This conversation shows us that at that time they completely believed in reincarnation. Let's find out where the idea of generational curses comes from. There is an interpretation of the passage found in Exodus 20, verse 5, that states that God punishes the sons for the bad actions of their parents and grandparents up to the third and fourth generation. However, we will also analyze other biblical passages that are found in the Old Testament. One of them is even related to Moses, and the other ones to two of the ancient Hebrew prophets, and shows us that it is a misinterpretation of this text. This interpretation has caused fear to millions of people for a long time, but we will clarify this matter. We will first cite the prophet Jeremiah, whom in chapter 31, verse 29 of his book says the following. I will read it to you literally. In those days, people will no longer say, The parents have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Instead, everyone will die for their own sin. Whoever eats sour grapes, their own teeth will be set on edge. I will also cite a second Hebrew prophet from the same time. This prophet is Ezekiel, and he says like this in his book in chapter 18, verse 2. Let me read it for you. What are you trying to say using this proverb? The parents eat sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge? Ezekiel ends this chapter by saying, The one who sins is the one who will die. To Moses, whom the book of Deuteronomy is attributed to, cites in chapter 24, verse 16 the following. The parents are not to be put to death for their children, nor children put to death for their parents. Each will die for their own sin. To our benefit, when Jesus heals the man who was born blind, solved this enigma. In reality, this dilemma about generational curses is about our own lives. or past life, the most immediate one, up to the third and fourth generation. Meaning the guilt and sins from our parents don't affect our present lives. The life of a son that is born without sin. This is why Jesus solved this, teaching us that it's about paying off our karma caused by our own sins, and that no one have to pay or suffer the consequences of the actions done by our ancestors. I would like to ask you 2 questions. Please tell us your answers in the comment section. They will help you a lot to clarify this topic. Was there any need to the question asked by Jesus' disciples if they didn't have the concept that we could sin before we are born in a past life? The second one is also related. Is it possible that God could be unfair by punishing a person for a sin that they haven't committed in this life? I leave you with these 2 questions, looking forward to your comments, which are very important for us. Having related the texts found in Exodus, Deuteronomy, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah, we realize that what has been traditionally thought about Exodus chapter 20 verse 5 is a misinterpretation of this text. We hope that with all of this biblical information you were able to make your own conclusions, knowing that there is no guilt. Each and one of us have to accept through karma law, also known as cause and effect, the consequences of those actions we took in our immediate past life, up to the third and fourth generation.